Okay, so what kind of situation do we currently have on GBP, GPY? We have a market in which we have the creation of this very nice W formation. Now, this W formation just tested a very important structure level, which is this previous support, now turned resistance at this area. So from a weekly perspective, we have a W formation approaching strong resistance. Now, what we also have is more resistance at this area here, meaning that all of this zone here is a strong structure level for GBP GPY, from which we should see the market spike inside of it, and then from there, the completion of the W formation, so the creation of this retracement for the test of the neckline. So the completion zone of the formation and the test of this previous resistance that is now turned support. So there is definitely the opportunity to be looking for a possible capitalizing opportunity on the completion of this pattern. Now, if we go down on the daily time frame, what kind of situation can we see? Now, from a daily perspective, we can see that overall the market is clearly overextended to the upside, but still showing a lot of bullishness, which might lead and should lead actually in the creation of a little bit higher price for GBP GPY to go and really test this resistance before showing a clear distribution, so a loss of this bullish momentum, and then the start of the move to the downside. Now, from a 4-hour perspective, everything is still bullish on GBP GPY. Everything is just moving to the upside very, very aggressively without showing any sign of weakness. Look, in all this move to the upside, there is only bullish price action from a 4-hour perspective. Everything is just moving to the upside very, very aggressively. Now, going back on the daily time frame, what we will be doing with students. First, let's go and see what we have from a COT perspective. So what hedge funds are doing at the moment from a GBP perspective and what hedge funds are currently doing from a GPY perspective. So let's start from the pound. What we can see from a GBP perspective. Now on the pound, as we have said already with the previous analysis where we had a pound pair, what did we say? We clearly said net positions shifted from having 35K to having minus 36K, meaning that we went from having more longs than shorts from an institutional perspective on the pound to having more shorts than longs from an institutional perspective on the pound. So we can clearly expect pound weakness to continue, even though we might get a little bit of a retracement in this weakness and some more pound strength, which might definitely lead in the test of the higher zone as we want to see on GBP GPY. Short positions at the moment continue to get added on the pound from an institutional perspective, and long positions continue to get closed. If we go and see what we have from a GPY perspective, we can see that on the GPY, we're currently sitting at 32K net positions, meaning that during the move to the downside on the GPY, so all the move to the upside on the GPY pairs, we haven't seen some proper shorting from an institutional perspective on the GPY. Therefore, we can still expect GPY to get stronger and the completion of the pattern on GBP GPY. So how we will be approaching this situation with students? We will be monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective inside of this area, waiting for the market to shift from a bullish market to a bearish market, and then we will be waiting for the creation of one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice short with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for the move to the downside, completion of the W formation, and creation of a nice risk to reward trade to the downside, at least 1 to 3 risk to reward to the downside. So with students, we will first wait for the market to shift from a bullish market to a bearish market on the 4 hours, and then we will be waiting for one of our valid entries to present itself, and then we will be taking the short. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you, and I will see you in the next video.